You are listening to the Intuitive Healing Connection. Hi, my name is Gina Stroll, and I am your host. I am best known as the down-to-earth intuitive healer that doesn't sugarcoat the truth. I walk my clients through the healing process and help them heal from their past so that they can find peace and joy again. If you are interested in healing your past, tapping into your spiritual side to receive your own answers, finding your own clarity, and discovering your own wisdom, then you are in the right place. I am here to lead the way and help you discover your intuitive connection. Hi everybody, I'm Gina Stroll. I'm an intuitive healer, psychic medium, and spiritual coach, and I am best known for helping women get out of their own way, get unstuck, and feel the freedom that life can bring for you when we don't have all the emotional baggage connected to us and holding us down. Today, I want to talk about that emotional baggage and how we can heal it, how we can heal our physical bodies and allow them to be at their best, running at their best, at their highest, functioning well. And how do we get there? Well, in my experience, most of the time, our physical issues in our physical body have been started from energy first. And our emotions are this energy. These emotions, we feel them. We go through traumatic experiences. We have, things that happen to us in our life, whether it be in our childhood, whether it be in our adulthood. We keep those emotions and we shove them down. I have had many of these situations in my life. I have had many times where I've had to go back now as a healer and do healing on these traumas and these situations in my life that I didn't know how to manage them or navigate them. And by the way, when we're in heavy turmoil, most of the time you're not going to know how to navigate them. We don't get a book that says, here's what you do. There have been many times where I've went through really, really tough things. And now as a healer, I know sometimes I'm just going to have to do cleanup later. It's just going to have to be that way. But I really have learned to start talking to myself and telling myself, okay, it's fine to feel any of these emotions because we're going to have emotions about everything that happens in our life. We're going to create belief systems for these heavy, deep traumas in our life because we don't know what else to do. And we have to make sense out of the nonsense sometimes. And so it's just part of our journey here. But as we get older, our physical body starts reflecting all of these emotions and these feelings back to us, and it's asking you to start taking a really good look at them. I know I've been going through some healing and some medical things for myself. I've had some big things going on in my life, big emotions. And I've noticed from those that even though I've been doing this healing work for a long time, I still have some emotional baggage that I need to heal because medically now, my physical body is manifesting some things for me that I'm choosing to embrace, choosing to work on them, and really choosing to get to the root of them. I know it's been frustrating for me because I go to the medical doctor, the Western medicine, and, they want to give you pills and they just want to put a Band-Aid on it and really mask it, make the body do what it's supposed to do, which they're really not making the body. The medicine is recreating things, making it do something that it's not normally doing so that it will function, so that you'll feel better. You're supposed to feel better. Most of the time we don't feel better. Most of the time it truly is just a Band-Aid. But we can figure out other ways. To me, this is healing. This is the emotional healing that I offer to people, and I offer it to myself. We do this emotional healing to release that energy from the body so that the body can start healing itself. This right there, to me, is the key to the why. We try to get answers from the doctor. Well, why is my body doing this? Why is it? And a lot of times we just don't get the answers. I know I've been doing a ton of blood work and been doing some other things. The answers just really aren't there. It's just kind of like, well, we don't know. Something's wrong, but we don't know. And so we need to start digging into the why. Why is this going on? What started these symptoms. What started all of this emotional upset, which created energy, which started this perpetual motion of the body moving into this disease or this place of not balance, not doing what it's supposed to do. And for me, I know it goes back to emotions. It goes back to feelings. It goes back to, releasing those out of the body. And as I do my healing work, I'll share more of my story as I go on. But this is such an important part to me of healing. I've been here before. I remember when I first started doing my healing work, I was having chronic bladder and kidney infections. I would have at least two a month. I'd just get over one and I'd do it again and get off an antibiotic and do it again. Of course, it's ripping my gut up and all these other things are going on because I'm taking a ton of antibiotics. It got to the point where I would have all the symptoms, but I'd go in and get the medicine and it wouldn't treat it. Or they would tell me that I didn't have an infection, that there was no infection present in my test, but I still have all the symptoms going on. That's when I realized there was something else going on. And so for me, it was time to go dive in and really start doing my work. If you know anything about kidneys and bladder, this is where we can carry a lot of our anger, carry a lot of our grief. We can carry a lot of self-body issues. And, it's really in that, if you know anything about the chakra system, this is in that sacral area. It can be connected to the root. It can also be connected to our solar plexus, which is your power. And so I really had to go start diving into that. I realized I had a ton of anger that needed to go. And as I started working on that, this was anger about my past. This was anger about situations. I lost my brother when I was 17 to suicide. I was angry about that. I was angry about the situation. there were so many things. And as I started unpacking it and removing those and allowing myself to do my healing work and allowing myself to feel my feelings, allowing them to come up and come out of my body, out of my system, and release them and let them go and let those things really start to heal. My physical body started to heal. And what I had been doing wasn't working. So I figured, well, heck, we got to try something else and as my physical body started to heal, the symptoms started to heal. And I started to heal. I started to feel better. I started to want to show up more and do things differently and wanted to be a better me. And as I let these things go, the freedom that came with working through those emotions and really sitting with them and working with other healers and, working with people who could help me really take a good look at them and be honest with myself. Because that's the key sometimes. We don't want to be honest with our feelings. We're like, no, I'm not mad. Well, yeah, you are. What the hell are you so mad about? I've asked people that several times in healing sessions. What the hell are you so mad about? And when you can answer that and realize, oh my gosh, you're right, I am mad. I am so angry. I am so frustrated with all the situations. I'm so frustrated that for me, that my brother took his own life and there was nothing I could do to change that. There was nothing I could do to save him. It felt so helpless to me. I had felt helpless a lot of times in my growing up, in my situation. I had felt very controlled at times. And it really was just a perpetual state of it just kept getting crammed and crammed and crammed. And a new situation would come in with the same feelings and I'd just shove it down there. In another situation, I'd shove it down because I'd never learned how to be okay, to not be okay sometimes. I'd never learned how to really just embrace, you know what, you're right, I'm mad. And just feel it and let it go. I had never been told that. We were told to put our big girl panties on, to just suck it up, just to do things, you just keep on going. You just have to keep on going. And so eventually you get to the point where your body is like, there's nothing else. There's no more room to shove. There's just nothing left. And we eventually have to look at it. And eventually manifests for us in the form of some disease or some chronic illness or some things that are going on. And I have some other things that are going on right now. And I'm doing the same thing for that because I really want to allow my body to heal. It wants to heal. It wants to feel good. It wants to be here for us in the best possible way that it can. But we have to give it that opportunity to do that. And to me, one of the very basic ways that we can do that is to do our emotional healing. And when you do that, you will feel so much better. I'm telling you, I can't tell you the amount of people who tell me, oh my gosh, I just feel lighter when I let go of all of this heaviness and what I have to do and how I have to show up and how I have to look and how I have to be. And we let go of all of the anger and the sadness and the sorrows and all the traumas in our lives. And we start letting those go. You don't have to be completely healed to feel better. You start feeling better immediately. It's like the best antibiotic on the planet, but you didn't have to take anything to do it. There's just this thing with emotional healing that allows that energy to be freed up and allows your body to start doing its healing work. This emotional healing is such a big part to me of doing intuitive healing. I've been blessed to be able to help so many people do their emotional healing and really get real with their emotions, get real with their feelings, get real with why they're angry, get real with why they're sad. Why are you depressed? What's going on? What pressures are you putting on yourself? What are the anxieties? These will all cause physical issues at some point, I promise you. You put all of that anxiety, if you're living in a constant state of anxiety, this is high blood pressure, this is stress on the body, this causes inflammation, this causes so many other things. And I don't want to scare you about it. I just want you to be aware. We have to start being aware of what's really going on. Part of waking up is being alert enough to know when you're starting to feel stressed, when you're starting to have big emotions, when you're starting to go through hard things. What is it? We need to stop and take a break and analyze it instead of doing things the old way and just pushing through and telling yourself to buck up and get over it, because you don't need to buck up and get over anything anymore. That is not helpful. It is not the way that if we're really tapping into our body, if we're really striving to live an emotionally free life, if we're really part of this waking up process, tapping into spirituality, really learning who you are, part of learning who you are is dealing with the emotions that are going on with you and what you're feeling, what you're seeing, what you're knowing, what you're doing, and allowing those yourself the freedom and the space to work through those. Now, we don't just say, oh, well, you don't have the right to be mad. Yes, you do. You can feel anything that you want to feel. You have to give yourself the freedom to go, you're right. I am so mad. One thing that I say, and I need to put it in my card deck. If you don't have my card deck, you need to get my card deck, but I need to put it in my card deck because this is one thing that I say all the time. And it is, why wouldn't you feel that way? And the minute you say that to yourself, it switches a switch inside of your head. Your ego goes, you're right. Why wouldn't we feel that way? And it changes the whole aspect of how you look at this situation. When you give yourself permission to be mad, give yourself permission to be sad, depressed, angry, why wouldn't you feel that way? Well, you're right. But I don't need to stay here anymore. I've been doing this a long time. It's not working. So what can I do to acknowledge that this is where we're at? What healing work do I need to do? What things do I need to let go of so that I can feel free? To me, this emotional baggage, the way that I like to describe how it feels in your body is, if I love to travel, those of you who know me, we travel a lot. And if I were to go to the airport and take my bags through the door and then go through and pick up as many bags as I could and promise to get them to their next destination. Now, we laugh about that. Even if I went in and picked up 10 people's bags, how heavy would that be? Most of us, I don't know about you, but I pack my suitcase pretty heavy. I like to have options. My husband will tell you that. I like options. I like to have enough clothes. And so if you were to go in and pick up even 5 people's luggage, how heavy would that be? It would be almost impossible to carry it. Yet you're asking your body to do the same thing. You're asking your body to go in and carry the weight of your wounds from this lifetime and maybe past lifetimes and generational and ancestral stuff, and wonder why it gets so tired. You wonder why it's depressed. You wonder why it's having physical symptoms and issues. You wonder why you're going to the doctor and nobody has answers for you because they don't have, it doesn't say anywhere in their medical book that, you know what, maybe you need to deal with some of your past so that you can feel better. They want to give you some Zoloft and tell you to go home and you'll be fine. Give it a couple weeks, you'll be fine. Well, great, maybe it does work. You know, I took antidepressants and anti-anxieties for a lot of years. The only thing it did is put a big band-aid on it. Eventually, it smacked me in the face and said, hello, wake the hell up. It's time to start looking at your life. Because if we want to truly feel free, we have to let go of all those bags. We have to quit promising to carry other people's garbage. We have to quit carrying our own garbage. We have to really learn to acknowledge that this is where we're at, that we have feelings about everything that happens in our life. Be open to feel them, not to judge them, and just to let them go. One thing that I do now when I have things that are going on, I give myself the freedom to feel them all. If that's sobbing, raging tears, then it's sobbing, raging tears. And I give myself the freedom. I don't tell myself that I have to hold a brave face or to act a certain way or to be a certain way. I give myself the freedom to feel them. That way, when I do go back after the major thing has happened, it's not as traumatic. I still have some cleanup to do. There's still some emotions and feelings, you know, maybe I feel like it wasn't fair or, you know, there's judgments, you know, whatever it is in there. But I've allowed myself, given myself the freedom to feel all the feelings. And you can do the same thing. You can start making that a practice today. But just as we make it a practice today, we have to honor where we've been in our past and let those things go. I would encourage you so much, if you haven't started your emotional healing, if this is something that is new to you, that you just don't know how to feel your feelings, you've never allowed yourself to feel your feelings, you don't even know what your feelings are. Most of us have not a clue what we're even feeling. It all comes out as anger. To me, anger is great, but it's really the cover up for something else. It's really the cover up because you're really sad or you're really disappointed. Whatever it is, whatever's going on in your life, it really is just kind of that cover up for you. So when we can really start to acknowledge we've been through some tough shit. I know all of you have been through some tough things. I know all of you have had some traumatic experiences, maybe things that have happened with your kids or families or, you know, loss of loved ones. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be that traumatic. Sometimes as we are growing up, if we had a need for some, you know, maybe it was your blanket and that was your only, felt like that was your only safety net and your mom took it away and threw it in the garbage, that can be a defining moment for you in your life. We don't think about it that way, but you can tell yourself, you know what, obviously I don't matter and she doesn't care. And now I have nobody and I'm alone. I have to do everything myself. This is where these belief systems come from. For some, it doesn't bother them. They're like, fine, take the blanket. Others, it was a big deal. It was a huge deal. You know, I've worked with, I remember there was one girl in particular that I worked with when I first started working with her. I've worked with her for a while now. One of the first childhood scenes that we dealt with was from her kindergarten class and something that happened in that kindergarten class. And it had affected her for years after because the teacher called her out, told her not to do something, and then she turned right around and did it. And the art day got canceled. She got in trouble and sent to timeout. And she was just excited to be there. And it really set things in motion for her for many, many years to come. And we have since cleared those things out for her, and it has made such a big change for her. But we have to go back and acknowledge those and acknowledge that those were tough. Nobody's parents were perfect. Nobody's parents said the right thing every day, day after day. Nobody's parents were there for you every moment of every minute of every hour when you needed them to come and look at your new project or come see how excited you were about today's schoolwork. And, you know, it's impossible for us, for parents, to meet those needs. I know I have 4 adult kids. They're telling me now of all the times that I dropped the ball. I did. I dropped the ball. I acknowledge that. I never said I was the perfect parent. I never said I was the perfect parent for them. Did I do my very best? You better believe I tried my hardest every day. But sometimes it's not always good enough for those around us. And so, we have to be open and understanding to all the healing that can happen around us. And as you do that, I promise you, your physical body will heal. If you're having symptoms and you just can't figure it out, and you're not getting the answers that you need, I would highly encourage you start doing healing with a healer. We need to mix all modalities. This is what I'm doing right now. I see a lot of different people in my healing plan. I don't just rely on Western medicine. Is it good to know what's going on? Is it good to have that perspective? Yes. Just this week, I was able to take all of my blood work that I've had done and go show my other person that I use who helps me do some different things. I was able to take that Western medicine to him so that we could all work together on the same things and see where we were at. And that felt really good to me. It felt good to all come together and to bring all aspects of this together. This week, I have started setting in the infrared sauna because I need some help with my body. I'm having lots of pain inside of my body. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna bring in that aspect of it and see if I can help that. There's just been a lot of things that are going on, and I believe in bringing it all together because I don't believe in waiting for one person to give me my answers. I believe part of our journey here and our growth here is to work with our physical body. It's one of our biggest challenges sometimes. It's also one of our biggest lessons that we get to learn. And so if we can learn to tap into it and listen to it and not ignore it, not push those away, really do the emotional healing on the side, do the physical healing, work with Western medicine, work with, whatever. I have people who do Chinese medicine. I have people who do shamanism type of stuff. I have lots of different people that I can reach out to and get that help and support. Intuitive healing, of course, is one of my big ones. And I see a healer at least once a month. I want to move that stuff through. I need to get out of my own way if I want to continue to grow. And that's how we do it. So I would encourage you to do the same. Reach out. If what I'm saying to you is speaking to your heart today, reach out to me. Let's do some healing. Let's get you moving. This isn't a Band-Aid, and it takes a little bit of time, but it's time and money well spent, I promise you. And I know that you will look back. I have people in my VIP group that work with me exclusively for 6 months. They also work with me to do healing during those 6 months. And all of them have said, oh my gosh, you know what? I have done 10 years of healing in the 6 months that we have been together. And that's how it can work for you if you get the right person, if you work with the right person to do it. I feel blessed to be in that place for them and to be able to offer that to them. Because I know when you come to see me, I'm a no bullshit healer. If you want somebody to sugarcoat it, you don't want to come to me. It's not that I will be rude to you or disrespectful in any way, but I like to be honest with you and help you learn to be honest with yourself, with what you're feeling and what you're seeing, and allow you to learn how to get to your own answers, allow you to learn how to do this kind of work on yourself and be honest with you and not judge yourself for where you've been, because that's what most of us want to do is judge. We want to judge where we've been. We want to judge the feelings. We want to get our ego all messed up in healing, and that's not what you want to do in this situation. This isn't about judgment. This is seriously just about you acknowledging that you have went through some really, really hard things and that you're still here and you're still standing and you're still doing it every day. But it's time to do it better, and it's time to feel better. It's time to emotionally feel better. If people come and I'm just in a slump, I'm just in depression, I just don't feel well. Start working with some of those emotions. I promise you, you will feel better. You will want to get out of bed. You will want to start moving. You will find that strength to get yourself going again. But you've got to acknowledge that this is where you're at. And yes, you can go the route, you can go the medical route, and you can do those things. I did it for years, and then I decided that wasn't enough for me anymore. I didn't want a Band-Aid. So if you're ready to pull the Band-Aid off and really get to the why, to really discover that deep part of you on why things are going on for you, reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's get you moving in the right direction. Get you going again, get you feeling better, because I promise you I will be your biggest cheerleader. I will be honest with you in every way, and I will also be your biggest cheerleader along the way, because I believe we all need a cheerleader. We all need that soft place to fall. We all need that place that is so understanding and so non-judgmental. Doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what decisions that you've made. It doesn't matter how terrible you have felt about yourself. There's nothing that we can't work through. There's absolutely nothing in this world we can't work through. So that's my message for you today. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. Please reach out to me at any time. You can email me at ginastroll.com. Let's chat. I'm happy to chat with you about healing, about anything that I do, to see if maybe it's a good fit for you. So I would love to work with you if it's calling to you today. So much love along your healing journey, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye. I sincerely hope you enjoyed today's episode. I love connecting with my people. So if you would like to get in touch with me, you can email me at ginastroll@ginastroll.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube as Gina Stroll Intuitive Healing. And of course, if you have any interest in anything that we talked about today, all of my stuff is available on my website at ginastroll.com. And again, thank you for joining me, and I can't wait for us to connect up again. Have a great day.